Have you ever seen a building so famous, so iconic, that just one glance tells you exactly where you are? That's the Eiffel Tower. But did you know that this global symbol of Paris was once called an eyesore and almost torn down? Hi everyone, and welcome to today's story, a journey back in time to discover the history, drama, and human tales behind one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world, the Eiffel Tower. Let's rewind the clock to the late 1800s. Paris was preparing for a big event, the 1889 World's Fair. It was a huge international exhibition to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. The city wanted something special, something bold, to mark the occasion. Enter Gustave Eiffel, a brilliant French engineer. His company proposed a radical idea, a 300-meter iron tower. At that time, it would be the tallest man-made structure on Earth. But not everyone was thrilled. In fact, when the design was first announced, many artists and writers in Paris were furious. They signed petitions and wrote angry letters, calling it a monstrous piece of metal and an iron skeleton. They thought it would ruin the beauty of Paris. But Eiffel didn't back down. He believed in his vision. Construction began in 1887, and the tower took just over 2 years to complete. Around 300 workers used over 18,000 iron parts and 2.5 million rivets to build it. There were no cranes, no modern tools, just human skill, determination, and a lot of courage. And when it was finally completed in 1889, the Eiffel Tower amazed the world. It stood at 324 meters tall, including the antenna, that's about the same height as an 80-story building. At the time, it was the tallest structure on the planet, and it stayed that way for more than 40 years, until the Chrysler Building in New York took the crown in 1930. But here's the twist, the Eiffel Tower wasn't meant to be permanent. It was only supposed to stand for 20 years. The plan was to tear it down in 1909, but Gustave Eiffel was clever. He realized the tower could be useful for science, especially for communication. He allowed scientists to use the tower for radio experiments, and when World War I broke out, the tower's antenna helped intercept enemy messages. Thanks to its value as a radio tower, it was saved. Now let's talk about some of the incredible stories that have taken place on and around the Eiffel Tower. One of the most famous comes from World War II. When Nazi forces occupied Paris, Hitler wanted to raise a swastika flag on top of the Eiffel Tower, but the French had a secret plan. Before the German soldiers arrived, they cut the cables of the tower's elevators, forcing the Nazis to climb all the way up by foot if they wanted to reach the top. Some say Hitler never bothered to climb it. Paris had quietly resisted, with style. Then there's the story of Franz Reichelt, a tailor and inventor. In 1912, he believed he had created a parachute suit that could help people escape from burning buildings. To test it, he chose the Eiffel Tower. Sadly, it didn't work. He jumped from the first platform, and the suit failed. It's a tragic story, but also a reminder of how much people have risked in pursuit of innovation. Not all the stories are dramatic, though. Some are full of love. The Eiffel Tower is one of the most romantic spots in the world. Thousands of people propose there every year. It's been the backdrop for movies, songs, and love stories from all over the globe. There's even a woman in the US who married the Eiffel Tower in a symbolic ceremony and changed her last name to Eiffel. Yes, really? Over the years, the Eiffel Tower has become much more than a building. It's a symbol of Parisian pride, creativity, and resilience. It went from being hated to beloved, from nearly being demolished to becoming the most visited paid monument in the world. Today, the Eiffel Tower welcomes nearly 7 million visitors each year. Whether you're standing at the base, riding the elevator to the top, or simply watching it sparkle at night, it's an experience like no other. So next time you see a picture of the Eiffel Tower, remember, behind all that iron and beauty, there's a story, a vision, courage, controversy, and above all, humanity. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more incredible places and the secrets behind them, don't forget to like, follow, favorite, and subscribe. Until next time, keep exploring.